Hello everyone at Enchanted Emerald. This is Melissa bringing you a reading here today for Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. And out of the Astrology Answers deck, we have two cards coming out together. The Ten of Pentacles accompanied with the Ace of Wands. So these cards in and of themselves are very positive cards. And coming out together, I really feel like this is a time to look at the big picture. I feel as though this is a time where we could be pursuing things with this sort of reckless abandon, right? Really thinking big picture, long term, and going for the goal. And I do feel as though this is a time where we're maybe not necessarily looking at everything in all of its glory and really thinking about all of the consequences in each action that, really could come to fruition as a result of some of the actions that we're taking or decisions that we are making. I do feel like things could be a little bit short-sighted, right? Where you may not be able to see all of your objectives completely clearly, but I do feel like this is a time for you to act on faith, or maybe you did act on faith already, and you took a gamble of some sort. It was almost as if you played your shot in the dark, kind of like on Survivor, where they have this 1 in 6 chance of being safe. And so there was this inherent risk associated with that gamble that you took, but you were willing to risk it all. You were willing to do that because when you looked at the bigger picture, you realized that, man, if I can make this happen for myself, the benefits will far exceed the risk that I'm taking right now. And so ultimately there is a sacrifice with that, in that you feel, perhaps on the other side of this, that you could feel deceived, right? Where, yes, you took this shot in the dark and maybe things haven't really turned out the way that you had hoped for them to turn out. And now maybe you're feeling as though a little bit remorseful, maybe, that you took this and acted in good faith in that, and however now really trying to just reconcile all of that, and perhaps really kind of coming out on the other side, really looking at the bigger picture, saying, okay, now it's time for me though to pursue a different opportunity or pursue other interests. And I do feel like there is an opposing force to you here, where this is maybe something you've never done before, or you're feeling compelled to go on a path that you've never been down before. I feel as though you're possibly about to implement new strategies, things that you have never implemented before, because you're just wanting different results than you've had, and you don't really want to be spinning your wheels any longer than you have to, and so you're ready to take those risks, right? And even though it hadn't turned out as you hoped and you're kind of feeling remorseful about that, you understand that there is, with those risks, great rewards, right? And so you're willing to put in the effort, put in the time, and really go all in with this. And I feel as though this is sort of upholding a sense of truth for yourself throughout all of this. And I feel like this is going to require you to perhaps be put into scrutiny by other people, right? Put under scrutiny by other people, or perhaps you may have to deal with some of their sarcasm, perhaps their tongue-in-cheek remarks, right? I feel like this is going to require you to really be on your A game, and really require you to have top-notch etiquette, so to speak, where you are knowing what you want to say, knowing the facts to back you up, and really being able to make your point clear. So you're really going to have to devise a plan, come up with a plan, and know your talking points. And that also comes with knowing your audience, right? And I feel like you're going to feel more compelled to connect with this person or this audience or the people that you are trying to win over, so to speak, by connecting with them on an emotional level, because that's what's going to help to motivate them to maybe connect with you and see things from your perspective, right? So it's just motivating them, driving them with their change by connecting with them on their emotional level. That's what's going to help everybody feel satisfied with a common goal or an outcome here. And I feel like with those tongue-in-cheek remarks, this could be a point where even though you're attempting to try to win them over and have them see your perspective, I feel as though going back and forth, there's like a bit of a back and forth perhaps, and there is the sense here that someone is attempting to poke the bear, right? And so there could be some antagonizing comments going back and forth. It could just be a healthy debate, right? And this is where it's almost like a sense of fun for one party or another to have this conversation or to have this debate, because it's about understanding those facts that kind of back your perspective up. And this is where you'll win somebody over, is if you know those facts, because then they are able to understand where you're coming from and understand why you feel the way you feel, or why you view this as you do. And so this is where you're going to kind of provoke them to kind of seek that change as well. And so this is really a point here where you may have to kind of surrender some of this, right? When we talk about that kind of like not necessarily wanting to control the outcome, but just doing the healthy debate for the purpose of having the debate, and kind of like rolling the dice, and like it's going to happen however it happens. It will turn out how it's supposed to turn out, but what you can do is surrender for the highest and best of all. And so with that, I think that once you do that, when you're not attempting to control the outcome or to control the viewpoint of the other people, but to just get into that debate, allow them to see why you feel the way you feel, it can intrinsically motivate them to want that change for themselves as well. And so this is where things can happen very quickly, because you're not so focused on the outcome. All of your energy goes into the actual energetic exchange between the two of you, and you're engaging. And so that's really an important aspect here, I think, in terms of your goal. And so I do feel like in this exchange there could be a lot of details, of course, being exchanged, details going back and forth. And I do feel as though if there's any documents going back and forth, this would be a time for you to read things twice, okay, or read them very thoroughly. I do feel as though there could be one party or another attempting to kind of pull the wool over one another's eyes. And so just being mindful of that as you work through this energy, I do feel it's important to note that as well. So I do think that things kind of get complicated when you start looking at all of these little details, of course. And so there's an energy here that kind of comes in with this caution as well, is not to get lost in those details. Be mindful of them, be aware of them, acknowledge them, but don't get lost in them. Remember your big picture goal, okay? Because if you get lost in those little details, it could hold you up. It could be like a little hang up. And so it can keep you from moving forward. It can keep you from looking ahead. And so I do feel with this, not only the documents going back and forth, I do feel as though someone may try to tell you that you said this or you said that, when in fact you did not. Or characterize you as being someone who misspoke about something. When they heard you, they know full well they heard you loud and clear, and they know exactly what you said. So try to keep it honest, try to keep them honest, hold them accountable in any way possible that you can, okay? I do feel like these opportunities that are presenting themselves as you start to work through this, I do feel as though it's something that you might think is unable to be achieved. Like it's something that you might think that it's out of your grasp, it's out of your league, you're never going to be able to achieve this for yourself. But there's a reminder here to kind of just take a step back and understand that there is a shift here in dynamics, right? Where there is, I don't necessarily want to use the word manipulation, but I do feel like there's a manipulation or like a shift, a subtle shift in like where one may be doing things or saying things in an attempt to shift things, the dynamic of things, and terms of making a power move, right? Or justifying their actions. And so I feel as though this is someone who's just trying to be petty. And so we want to, understand that they might even ask you, hey, what's wrong? Why are you upset? And they know what they did. It's almost patronizing. And so take a step back when you need to take a step back. And I think this is about you being able to take that initiative, right? And really seeing things for what they are, right? Seeing their subtle hints in their body language and how they change when they say certain things, and again, taking that initiative to stand up for yourself and be assertive when you need to be, thinking outside the box to bring in powerful solutions to the task at hand. And I do feel like this is where you're really going to be able to ground that vision into a reality. Okay, so own your voice, right? Own your voice, own your truth. And this may require you, when you take that step back, to kind of do some introspection, kind of integrate, what is it that I'm feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Am I feeling triggered? Is this the facts? Right? Is this true? And maybe challenging some of these thoughts, because there will be somebody that will be trying to impose their will on you. But again, where you'll find that settling is where you're following your own truth or your own guidance system into what you feel is the next best thing for you. And I feel like this could change within the context of different social situations. So however this resonates for you, of course. But I think it's important for you to just kind of consider the source, who it's coming from, right? And, know that things can be taken out of context, and really just pay attention to those social cues. And throughout this all, of course, remember your divinity. And when I talk about this is our ever-present connection to our own higher selves, our own inner guidance system. And even though at times we might feel like, gosh, that's pretty staticky, I'm not sure I heard that pretty clearly, I'm feeling a little confused, or I'm feeling a little lost, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. This is you putting on your suit of armor against all odds, right? It's you tuning in to you and what you feel is best for you. That's your truth and your intuition. So when you quiet your mind, you're able to do that. And so this is without any external distractions, without anyone telling you how to think or feel or act, or what to do, or who to be, right? And this is your own state of joy and peace and compassion. And so connecting with that higher self, this is really going to connect us to our divine blueprint, right? This is our map of living in our soul's purpose while we are here. And so if we are doing that, this is where our inner self can be reflected into our outer world. And when we're doing that, we're always going to be in alignment. We're always going to be in our truth. We're always going to be living our most abundant life. We're always going to be living with the most ease and the most grace. If you are perhaps feeling stuck or stagnant, perhaps this is a time for you to take a step back and realize this for the redirection that it is from source, and really establish that clear connection with your higher self, and knowing what is it that I need to do to get myself into a space of what is true for me, and where can I go from here. So this is a really beautiful read for us here, and I do so hope that it resonates for you. I hope it helped in some way. And as always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.